All right, I'm back again. Let's try this a second time. Yikes. Yeah, looked over, started doing account review, and the whole thing was like, rebooting. Thank you. Yeah, I got booted right out. I did see that there was a super chat from TK that came through like right as I was rebooting. So I got a $20 super chat from TK. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you. You're a good dude too, TK. You really are. Let's see. We had started to look at an account review. Let's see if I can remember this. Nope, that's not going to be right. 562. See if I can find this in an old chat log here. Okay, we're back on pay-to-pay farmer Nick. Computer rebooted unexpectedly due to TK's super chat. Did my super chat break the stream? I think it did, TK. I was thinking about being a jerk and saying, hey, try it 2 or 3 more times. Let's see if we can get it to crash again. I'm not that mean, though. No, I do appreciate the super chat, TK. TK's been around since the start, too. You were like one of the first few people over on the Discord, I think, TK. Certainly one of my first 5 Patreon subscribers, I believe. Good people. Good people. All right, so we got 2.2 million, 2.6 in characters, 2.2 in ships, 4.8 in total. Galactic War Battles 163, so that's a year and a half old. All right, take a look at ships here. Let's see. Have Executor 5 stars. Finalizer's 5 stars already. Looks like we bought the packs, so we got Radis and Negotiator, Finalizer. Okay. Got all that stuff. Pilotless ships, we got a Rebel Y-Wing that started. BTLB started. Hyena and Vulture Droid are all farmed up, and so's the Imperial TIE Bomber. Yeah, these other pilotless ships are worth building at some point, the BTLB and the Rebel Y-Wing. Let's see what we got over on the character side of things. SLKR, already up and going. Oh, so maybe we didn't buy the packs. Maybe we qualified for this event normally. Let me take a look here and see if we got some Relic 3 characters in here. So yeah, the First Order TIE Pilot only needs to be Relic 3, so that means that we didn't actually buy the packs. He actually built SLKR. Okay, so we did Executor into SLKR. That's a good build. We like that. Good stuff. All right. So what questions do you have for me, Nick? What do you want to know? All right, so I'm getting some account numbers here. Let's see. Clyde says, usually glad to catch a stream, usually miss them. Nick says, next month I'm going to 7-star my Executor. And after getting Rey, I'll do Jabba. But after that, I'm not sure what to do. Maybe Leia or Profundity. Okay. So we got the Rey stuff in here. Working on getting Rey. We got the Radis at 4 stars. Okay. So what to do after that? I think the thing to do right now is Leia, honestly. You've got relevant characters. You've got rebels that are built here. Some rebels. So yeah, I would go with Leia. I would. You know, we've had the couple events to get a bunch of these characters up and running. So you should have a bunch of extra Drogan shards. Yeah, look at that, 5 stars on Drogan already. Yeah, I would definitely go for Leia. I would make that the thing that I do. And then in the background, I would do some more Imperial troopers. I mean, you've got Piet and the Dark Trooper. Piet that you built from the Executor journey, and then Dark Trooper as your, you know, beat stick for the troopers. But I do think, you know, while you're working on the Leia journey, Rey journey, all that stuff, I mean, you got a lot of stuff to do in the account. But I would focus on Rey. I would build the requirements for Leia and relic them. And then in the background, I would build up some of these troopers to Gear 12. I mean, you don't have to go crazy and relic everything, but just as a background project over like the next 6 months, slowly work these troopers. You'll get Scout Trooper. You'll have to do him for Leia. You're in Hard Conquest, so hopefully you're getting the new Gideon. But I would focus in on things like Death Trooper, Scout Trooper, Stormtrooper, Gideon, and these Imperial Remnant. And I would try to get them to Gear 12. And that way, if the Moff Gideon, Beskar Gideon team is good, you'll have stuff for that. And you'll also have more characters for the raid that you can put in at least at Gear 12. And, you know, get 300,000 or 450,000 or whatever you can get with that team. Depending on how that raid works out. But that's how I would set it up. You know, you need to finish out this Rey because, I mean, once you've got this much stuff toward Rey, you might as well just grab her, right? So you're going to grab Rey, you're going to start working on Leia, and then in the background, you're going to build up troopers. That's what I would do. Profundity is good, but having Profundity and Executor both, I don't think for a, you know, mid-game account like yours is that helpful. I did it on Loquitur, and it's really mediocre. It's just kind of, okay, I've got both of them now. I can take Profundity on offense and GAC. But other than, you know, having another good fleet for GAC, it does kind of nothing for me in the game. You can't really play it in territory battles and all that stuff because it's not 7 stars. Or at least mine's not. So, yeah, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's not a highly effective journey for me. Let's take a look at your speed here while we're in here. 341 on Marjade, fastest non-GL character. Revan's pretty fast, huh? 338. That's a pretty fast Revan. That's good. It's probably your best speed set overall. Even though Marjade's faster, Revan would have to have more stat boosts to get that high. 335 on Piet, acting 355 under Veer's lead. It's pretty good. Revan. For an account that's only a year and a half old, these mods are pretty good. So Revan's at 300. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters over 300. So a little behind the curve, but I understand that, you know, you've bought the packs and you've accelerated your galactic power. And but no, the mods look decent. Looks like you're building the right kinds of things with your mods. So keep up the good work there. All right, let me take a look here, see if I can access this busted stream. Okay, so we had a request from some kind of ninja. Ninja Falcons, 365. He's 197,819, 365 days a year. Ninja Falcons, 5.6 million galactic power. 2 foreign ships, 3-2 in characters. Orodium 3 in Grand Arena. He's got Executor 4 stars. Some other stuff. Looks like maybe bought the Rey packs. Okay. Also bought the SLKR packs. Let's see. First order. Let's see what kind of shape we're in for first order here. Okay, so bought the first order stuff, but hasn't got to SLKR yet. And then bought the resistance stuff, but hasn't got to Ray yet. Okay, I mean, that's the case for a whole lot of people right now. So that's what we're working on. We got Revens, we've got Malik, Savage, third sister already in the house. Check that out. Okay. What else do we have? Bo-Katan, all kinds of stuff. Clone Sergeant, Bo-Katan. So, all requirements for Kenobi. Kenobi and Sith Eternal. I'm trying to see if there's something else that this person's been building. And if I was the owner of this account, I know where my next big thing would be. So let's see if they're on the same page with me. Doesn't look like it. Interesting. Okay. So what I would probably do with this account, with that third sister, that is a very powerful tool for Grand Arena, for territory wars, all kinds of stuff. I would really take a serious look at building Lord Vader on this account. So I know you've got the SLKR to work through, the Ray to work through, that's fine. But in the background, I would be farming up those Bad Batch and getting the, I'd get the Lord Vader. Lord Vader with third sister on defense for Rhodium 3, nobody's going to beat that. You'll ride that to Kyber 3. And you'll have 5 GLs by then, right? Because you'll have Kenobi, Sith Eternal, Rey, SLKR, Lord Vader. Leia's more relevant for the new raid. I mean, you could do Rey, but I mean Leia. Did I say Rey? I meant Leia. Leia's relevant for the new raid, of course, but I mean, you've got some rebel characters in here. You've got, well, not a lot. Imperial Troopers, let's take a look. Yeah, you've got some of each, you know. You've got a rebel team, you've got a Imperial Trooper team. I think you'll be okay in the new raid. I'd go for Lord Vader on this account. Try to capitalize on that third sister to the maximum extent possible. All right. Jabba or Leia kind of requires a major debate. Yeah, for people who have like an open, let's say that the journey is optional, you don't really have like a bunch of stuff leaning one way, you're always going to want to prioritize Leia because she's going to be relevant for the new raid. And I prioritize the raid loot very highly. So I think that's one of the best reasons in the game to be building your account, is building to succeed in the raids. So, and again, if you build to succeed in the raids, it's going to help you in Grand Arena, territory battles, all these other game modes. So it crosses over to everything. But building the best thing for GAC doesn't necessarily cross over into the raid. Building good stuff for the raid crosses over into all the other areas of the game. So that's why I'm saying you put that as your priority, and you build toward the raid. But for this particular account, I don't know that I'd be able to resist the temptation to just take full advantage of this third sister. All right. John Bocato says, hello all. I never really get to catch these streams. Well, you caught one today. Nice. If I was planning to do Jabba after Rey, if I do Leia, would I do Jabba? So there's a lot of synergy in those 3 journeys. It's kind of like a good 3-pack right now. So you do Leia, then if you did Jabba and JML, there's a lot of characters that overlap between those 3 journeys and Rebel synergy and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, given a long-term plan, get Leia, then Jabba, then Master Luke. The Triumvirate's also a good opportunity for this account. This account's got a lot of good stuff for GAC in a lot of different areas. Yeah, surely the Triumvirate could be an option also for relicking. All right, well, let's take a look at mods real quick and then move on. 349 cat, fastest non-GL. It's okay for a cat. Revan at 323. That's respectable. 319 on 7th Sister, so we're starting to drop off pretty quickly already. Piet's down here. 301. Okay. Yeah, definitely an opportunity for better mods. I think for as old as this account is, you should probably have more speed in the account than you've got. Just my opinion. But I would look to farming speed mods, and I would look for a better strategy to balance out how you do your slicing. So this account's right at 2 years old. Yeah, at 2 years old, you should be able to have a little more speed in the account than you've got. But those are my thoughts. My thoughts on the account. If I make your decent mods, it'll make your decent mods into godlike. What? Okay, I missed something here. Oh, I think Lord Zenith is mentioning the event that you get for Jabba. If you're looking long-term, Jabba will help you way more than the new 1-year raid. I don't know if I can debate that, right? Because while you get Smuggler's Run 2 with Jabba and some extra event loot there, what else are you getting with Jabba that you wouldn't get with the new raid? And then so the big thing is, if you do well enough in the raid to be in a guild that's getting a 130 box, you don't need to build Leia, right? If your guild is pushing for a higher box and you can get into a better guild doing a higher box, it may be worth doing Leia. If you do Jabba and you're in a guild that's just getting the 30 million contribution and getting the 25 million box with the minimum amount of stuff in it, then that's where you've missed your opportunity. You've missed your opportunity to build Leia, to get a good contribution in the raids, and to be part of a better guild. So there's kind of a threshold there where you have to be able to make your 4 million contribution to the raid. So if you think about it that way, I need to be able to contribute 4 million so I can get in a guild that's doing 150 million total contribution and getting the 130 box or higher. So that's why I'm big on Leia, because getting into a guild or staying in a guild that's doing that well in the raid is going to net you more materials than the value of Smuggler's Run 2 if you weren't in that good of a guild. I hope that all makes sense. Okay. Why would you go Lord Vader if Maul has his own GL killer team? Why would you go for Lord Vader if Maul has his own GL killer team? Or do you mean Third Sister? Okay, I'm not sure quite what that means. So why would you go Lord Vader? Because if you put Lord Vader and Third Sister on defense in GAC, it's an unbeatable defense for a lot of low-level mid-game players. So, like, if I face that on my Loquitur account, I've got nothing to beat it, right? And maybe I'll develop a team that can beat it later, but for right now, if I saw it on defense, that zone would hold. There's nothing I can do about it. So it's just a way to build a team that in GAC, territory wars, places like that, is just brutal to deal with. So whenever I talk about Galactic Legends and characters like that, I have a very strongly held belief that if you take, for example, Third Sister on offense, she can kill exactly one team. If you put a good defense down with Third Sister in it, that team can win more than one battle. If they hold, they can potentially hold a player's entire account. So anybody who says, well, we take Third Sister on offense and then we can beat whatever we want. Okay, fine. But if you built a team for her on defense that your opponent can't beat, you basically won the GAC. Because then you could take everything else on offense. So I'm still to this day a big believer in trying to build one or two defensive teams that are showstoppers for your opponents, putting those on defense, making them deal with it, and then only the people that can actually beat those defenses can beat you in GAC. So that's my thought process. The Mandalorian squad with the broken Gar Saxon and the changed commando, super commando. Gar Saxon plus the super commando kills JMK. It doesn't make sense if you really went to, if you really wish to. It does make sense if you really wish to enter a better guild. He's talking about the Maul plus ISB or ISC. The Maul, yeah, okay. How many people are building that squad, and how many people believe that the Super Commando is going to stay where he's at? So the changes to the Super Commando, I've already heard that they're planning to change it unofficially. I've not heard anything official, but the rumor is that they're going to make an adjustment to it. So like Darth Treya, for example, when Darth Treya's Omicron was insane and it was beating all kinds of things, they came back in and they made a small adjustment to it. And it was just like against Dark Side Galactic Legends or something like that. So they left it mainly how it was, but they did tweak it. So do we think that they're just going to leave this guy alone forever? And what it is right now is what it's going to be? So I haven't invested in that team yet. But man, the Loquitur account just has way too much stuff to do. Way too much stuff to do. Way too much stuff to do. Yeah. We've got, I think we can unlock SLKR today. So we'll have him done, or started, I should say. So we can unlock him, get him started to gear up. I've still got the rest of today before I do my account update for the week. And I may be able to get both Bindo and JML relic today. So then I got Ray, and we've got the Radis, I believe, ready to go to 5 stars. Let me check here. Yeah, Radis is ready to go to 5 stars. So we'll qualify for Ray. Now I have farmed up some light side tokens, but I think I would rather use those tokens to start unlocking Ray than to work on JML's alt. So I think I'm going to do Ray, and then, I don't know, from Ray, I am going to focus on SLKR, though. So we're going to focus on getting the alt for SLKR with the dark side tokens. And I'm getting dark side tokens at the same time as light side tokens. So it's, I mean, the other thing I could do is focus on light side and just get the SLKR alt more slowly. I guess that would make sense because it would leave it open for my daily farms on dark side to get dark side tickets for longer. But yeah, I've got Ray to build, Jedi Knight Luke alt, Ray alt, and SLKR. It's hard to prioritize anything else over those characters and builds, right? TK says, have a good weekend. I gotta go. All right. See you later, TK. Lord Vader with Reva gets smashed by a large number of teams depending on the Datacron. Even in Erodium, it's not going to stop an average player. Interesting that you say that. What teams smash Third Sister with Lord Vader? I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know. So even against an SLKR team, my understanding is the Lord Vader Third Sister can hold its own on defense with the AI playing. Now, granted, that means you've got high relic levels on all of your Lord Vader team. You know, Relic 9 Lord Vader and stuff like that. So it does require quite a lot of investment in Lord Vader. You can't have like a cheap Relic 7 garbage Vader and expect it to work. But Pavoni fan, I mean, if you're aware of teams, just you know, help me understand what it is that's so good that it just crushes it. And you know, then I've given this player bad advice. So let me know. How many Kairos would you expect to get per month? 400? I buy a lot of Kairos out of the shop. We probably buy 150 Kairos out of the shop every week between the GAC store and the Guild event store. But I purchase that with all the currency that I get for those systems. So in a month, I would expect probably buying 600 Kairos and probably farming another 300, something like that. With the daily quests that give you Kairos 3 for free, you get another 90 out of there if you complete all your daily quests. So 1,000 Kairos a month, something like that in total. Seems like it would make sense. But yeah, I mean, when you're making purchases out of the shops, like here with this currency, I only purchase Kairos. With this currency, we're purchasing injectors because we're always out of injectors as a priority. So we buy injectors, and then if we have leftover stuff, we buy Cairo. And then here in the guild shop, this is always Cairo. It's not bad advice. I'm just sharing my experience with the team. The Jedi Datacron makes a big difference with the consistency versus Lord Vader. Damage reduction, speed up, offense help a lot. So, what I completely exclude Datacrons from any of my account building, planning, any of it. When I think of what teams I want to build, when I think of how I want to play the game, when I think of what I'm doing in 5v5, I can honestly say there has been once in the entire time that I've played that I've been influenced enough by a Datacron to change my account building plans. And that was, there was an IG-88 Datacron that I did feel was good enough for my teams that I had and everything, that I took my IG-88 to Relic 7 so I could qualify for the level 9 Datacron. But if you say, well, there's Datacron that beats Lord Vader, honestly, I don't care. Because there could be a Datacron that beats Lord Vader in every single cycle from now until the end of time. There's an equal, well, not an equal likelihood. So statistically, if everything else in the game, you've probably got like a 3-to-1 ratio, right? Like, there's a 3-to-1 chance that the Datacron sets are improving other teams against Lord Vader more than they're improving Lord Vader himself. But then you've got a 1 in 3 chance that the Datacron set will actually improve Lord Vader's team as much as or more than all of the other teams. So in terms of Datacrons, I mean, you should never plan account building around Datacrons. You should never say I will or won't build something based on a Datacron. That's my opinion. I mean, knowing that Datacrons are temporary, they're here, they're gone. If it's not something that you grab early and you can make work for you for that like 3-month period where you've got the Datacron available to you, then I guess Datacrons are around for almost 6 months now, right? Each set should be around for 3 months. Yeah, so if you could grab it early, make a small adjustment, and use it for 6 months, maybe it's worth it. But it's certainly not worth building or not building characters based on Datacrons. Okay. Lord Zenith says, I hate ads in the middle of the stream. SLKR gets along quite nicely with Armorer, Watt, and Night Sisters. For Lord Vader, you should always include Datacrons because Lord Vader is great with every Datacron set. And the Jedi Datacron set expires after this season. Datacrons are not to be ignored regarding them in the current meta. There will always be Datacrons to help. So, but to be clear, just to be clear, there is a point in the game where you've got all of the things, right? When you've got 6 GLs and a bunch of different teams, and then the difference is no longer whether you have 6 GLs or 7 GLs. The difference is whether or not you have the right Datacrons. So at some point in the game, Datacrons become more relevant. And let's say that's around, 8 million galactic power or something like that. At lower galactic power, it's just about what teams you do have. But again, it's not to say that you ignore Datacrons. It's just to say, to be clear, don't use Datacrons to influence what you build in your account. There's no point where I should say I will or won't build SLKR because of Datacrons. You should just build your account in the right way with the right characters, and not base account building decisions on Datacrons. Let's go in here and grab SLKR. I've been talking about it enough, so let's go play paper, rock, scissors. We've got one last time we need to play. So for anybody who doesn't know, you do feint, strike, parry, strike, unless you get question marks, in which case you always strike, and it doesn't affect your sequence. Okay, simple stuff. So, no question marks, feint, and then we apply it, strike, apply it, still no question marks, parry, apply it, strike, and then this should be it. We'll get our first point, Yeet. That worked out quite nicely. Then we start over with a feint. Strike. Parry. Okay, this doesn't count, so we'll do a strike, but our next thing is still a strike. Okay. Back to feinting. Okay. All right. Parry, strike, feint, strike, and then parry, strike, okay. On to the last round. Feinting. Striking. There's not been a whole lot of question marks. Like I feel like there's a lot more question marks in every other battle I've ever fought. This one's been very straightforward. Okay, there's question marks, so this doesn't count. Let me go back to a strike. Let me go back to a feint. Okay. And that's it. Pavoni fan says, what I mean, Lord Vader with Third Sister can be a showstopper, but it can be beaten as well. Broadly speaking, I agree with you. Okay. Again, just to be clear, I like the debate. You know, I always like the debate of discussing and listening and learning. And so I'm happy to have the discussion. So it's not about whether I'm right or wrong. It's just about if Lord Vader is easily beaten, then I do really, in fact, want to know that that's the case so that I can clear up my misconceptions and give people better advice. Super engaging gameplay. Can't wait to be done with this. Done with Rey so I never have to do it again. Nice. Lord Vader and Rey are super synergized with Datacrons, especially Rey. Every time we get a new Datacron, her squad changes. Rey is one of the only GLs that's generic, right? Like all of the other GLs, Kenobi wants to have his little Galactic Republic buddies with him. JML needs Jedi. SLKR doesn't have to have First Order, but it's better with First Order. Sith Eternal Emperor wants, you know, Sith or Empire characters in his team. Rey is just like, hey, any old light side character will do. If it's got a light side tag, it can be in my team. So yeah, she definitely has the most, let's say, statistical probability of something working out in her favor with the Datacron. I would agree with that. Morning DL, man, it's wild that this account is 8 million plus GP. Seems like yesterday that you were 2 million GP to stay in normal conquest when they released easy. Yeah, grab case. Isn't it funny? Man, I tell you. The last million GP was kind of a cheat, though, right? So we had 7 million galactic power, and then we bought those packs, and those packs put 850 million or 850,000 galactic power into the account. So almost 1 million galactic power just for clicking some buttons and spending money. All right. JQ says you just need to put in a spin thrust and you get the Daffy Duck as Robin Hood skit. Man, I remember that from when I was a kid, huh? Spin, thrust, parry, ha, ho, ha, boing. Smashes himself in the beak. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Man, think back to how violent Looney Tunes were. You can't even have a cartoon like Looney Tunes anymore because like everything was getting punched and beaten up and sent over a cliff and smashed the hammer and blown up with dynamite. Like Looney Tunes was Looney Tunes was off the hook. But I tell you, as a kid, I couldn't wait to watch it. Right? Couldn't wait to watch the cartoons. The cartoons were always on after the news. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and we had like 2 different TV stations that came in. So I remember my grandfather would always want to watch the news and the weather, and then when the news was over, I would always like want to watch the cartoons. And the alternative to the cartoons was Gilligan's Island. So the other channel had Gilligan's Island on it, and of course I had to fight with my grandfather to watch the cartoons instead of Gilligan's Island. What was the other show that he liked to watch with the Germans? What? Hogan's Heroes. Hogan's Heroes. That was the other show that he liked. Hogan's Heroes. I saw nothing. Nothing. Colonel Clink. Like, even those characters are so politically incorrect. Man, I went back and watched Mel's Diner not that long ago. Holy cow, I can't believe they even said half the stuff they said on TV. That's crazy, going back and watching that stuff. Yeah, and I don't think it's like the world has changed for the worse with all of this stuff. I think in a lot of it is good. It makes sense. There is definitely a culture of cancellation that is a little bit out of control in some regards, but in other ways, protecting people's well-being and treating people equally is a thing that we should have aspired to long before we did. So, yeah, it's like I said, it's interesting to go back and watch that stuff that was pretty normal and accepted. Yeah, that's what was on the TV. Cartoons, Gilligan's Island, and then Hogan's Heroes. MASH was another one I think that he used to watch. And then I remember getting an Atari. Back when Atari was brand new, newest thing on the market. Got an Atari. And then I could never play it because there was always too much work to be done. And when we were done with the work, everybody else watched the TV. So I never got to play the Atari. You can imagine what that's like for a kid. You got your PlayStation, it's sitting there, it's connected to the TV, it's ready to play games, and you just can't because everybody's using the TV and there's no other TV. It's like torture for a kid. It was torture for me anyway. Sit there staring at the thing going, "Ooh, just everybody go to bed, I want to play." Hoping that your parents and grandparents go to bed at like 6:30 in the afternoon or evening. Not going to happen, though. Not going to happen. Lord Zenith says 4 Reva shards only. Yeah, so my guild was, we pushed hard, and it's a guild decision, right? So when the crate raid came out, we had to make the decision as a guild if we were going to go for Third Sister or if we were going to go for raid participation. So our guild's not that big. What are we up to now? Like 350 million, something like that? Let me go check. See where we're at as a guild. So $370 million. 370 million galactic power. At the time, I mean, when it was a relevant decision, we were, I think, down around 300 million. And we decided to go for the crate raid instead of the Third Sister push. So instead of building Inquisitors, everybody had to build Jabba. And I think in the grand scheme of things, having 50 Jabbas in your guild or having 50 Inquisitor teams in your guild, I don't know, Jabba seems better overall. So yeah, the guild prioritized that over the Third Sister push, and that's what we did. By the way, Loquitur, have you seen Gar Saxon and the Imperial Super Commando without Maul? It's probably the cheapest counter to a full high relic gas, if they have plenty of tenacity. Interesting. John Bolcato says a 3-hour tour. Yep, that's part of the Gilligan's Island theme song. Hogan's Heroes is great. David Dutrow says, "Kiss my grits." Yep, that's from the Mel's Diner. Yep. Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64. John Bolcato says, "We get 10 shards. We hit it over 3 days." 367. I applied to join your guild. They wanted to put me in your second guild, the one that gets the 90 million crate raid. I have Jabba, Inquisitors, Reva ready to go. I'm working on Leia. So, Lord Zenith, if you do want to join our guild, so yeah, our guild is I don't know. They're almost getting kind of pretentious these days. But our guild outperforms in a lot of different areas. So joining the other guild within our alliance, that's a good guild too. And if you're over there, it's a lot easier to swap into the guild than to, get in from outside. If that makes sense. So, yeah. Yep. The leadership is tough on people, though. I mean, they don't want to accept anybody unless they're sure that you're gonna pull your weight. It's interesting. John Bolcato says, "FYI, I'm Jingle." Oh man. Well, hey Jingle. Hey, Jingle. Jingle Bell Rainbow. All right, so let's go look. Somebody else had asked for count review stuff. Let me see. Okay. Out of there, all the way back to the start up here. Apologies. We've looked at your account before, haven't we? Apologies. Apollo Gias. Let's take a look. 443-177. Apologetic. 4.7 million, 2.2 in ships, 2.4 in characters. Got the Inquisitor at 5 stars. 5 stars is a good place for Executor. I still think, personally, keep it at 5 stars until you're ready to go to 7. With a 5-star Executor, I was able to time out that fleet so that I could beat any fleet in the game at the time. When I got to 6 stars, it messed up the timing and never could get the timing back. At 7 stars, we'll get the timing back. It'll be fine. But 6 stars is just awkward. For me, at least. My opinion, get it tuned in, timed in at 5 stars, and then wait till you're ready to go to 7 and blast it up to 7. Alright, so Ebonhawk is in, but not developed. We got Geo ships down here with level 1 Geos in them. So I gotta ask, man, what is up? What is up with that? What is up with never building Geos? What's wrong with you? Geos are just such a good generic team, man. And with the gear as easy as it is now to get to gear, 9 or 10 pretty easily, just with a little bit of raid loot in the background. Take a look at the Geos. Why not, Build up some Geos. At least get them to gear 9 or 10, something like that. Build the ship up, get it ready to go. Same thing with Malevolence. You've got a level 1 Grievous. You got to fix these ships, man. It's worth building this character to 85, putting skills on him, putting good mods on him. Don't necessarily have to relic him, but man, get that character built up, get mods on him. It changes the ship's stats. So all of the levels and gear and everything that you put increases the speed, the damage, the potency, all this stuff. All these stats all increase. And it's all meaningful, right? So it's not just like, oh, it's fine. This skill, you have to get maxed out. And really, I mean, gearing these things up to Grievous, you'll have to go to gear 11. The Geos, gear 9 or 10. That's background stuff. You can get that gear in the background while you're still doing whatever your main thing is. So, improving your ships is almost for free. All right. Let's see. Okay, we've got a couple other requests up here. Go down here and catch up and make sure. All right, so they're talking to him about getting the crate raid. Okay, so let's take a look. What else we got in the account? We've got Grand Inquisitor. We've got... okay, not Third Sister yet, but all the other Inquisitors are good to go. Let's arrange by speed. Take a look at mods real quick. Piet, fastest non-GL character. 335. It's okay. That's okay. Ooh, Resistance Hero Finn. We invested in good mods in him already. Oh, I could give you a hug. Here's a hug. Coming through the camera. Got to get closer to your screen to receive the hug. 331 on Resistance Hero Finn. That's nice. That Fin Poe team is the real deal. That is just a nice, generic, easy team. Gets a lot of holds in GAC. People do not expect all of the counterattacks that come out of that team. So all you got to do is get a turn, get those counterattacks fired up, and a lot of people will be surprised by it. All right, we got Mara Jade down here. She's pretty fast. BB-8. Let's take a look. It's still at 305. Okay, so we've got at least 10 characters over 300 speed. That's nice. Hux is 302. That's pretty good for Hux. It's okay. I don't know. I was kind of lukewarm on Hux. On my main account, I made him like super fast. I made him one of the fastest characters in the account. And then later I took his mods off and I gave him to somebody else. And I had him in that range, I feel like, right around 300. And it didn't feel like it was that much worse with him at 300 instead of like 342. So at the end of the day, I was okay with the Hux, like maybe 310 or something like that. And it still felt like it was fine. Okay, so what are you doing with the account? What are you building next? Are we doing Leia? Can we see any evidence of Leia relics in here? There's General Kenobi not being worked on yet. Still gear 12. Clones are still gear 12. I don't see other requirement characters in here. So, got SLKR and Rey. And don't know what else we're working on. Zori Bliss, 6 stars already. That's nice. That's pretty good. Marin's 6 stars. Yeah, so Leia's the thing, right? Leia seems to be the thing that I'm recommending to everybody. We got no Malgus, so I don't think we could go for Leviathan. That would be the other play that you could do. So depending on where you're at with your Malgus, whether or not you can get him in his ship, I might do something like Leia into Leviathan for this account. And like I said, in the background, while you're working on that stuff, do get the Geos and Grievous geared up. Now, if you put an Omicron on Poggle and you have like garbage Geos at gear 9, gear 8, whatever, it's still a team to be reckoned with in territory wars. It's interesting how many times people will throw good teams in against Geos and then be surprised by how good the Geos really are with that Omicron. So it's the Geos are still relevant. That would be my advice for your account, man. The real question is, does Lord Zenith like the Grateful Dead? DL is about to review my account. Tell me if it's good enough. To be fair, only like 4 people in the Alliance like the Dead. All right. Okay, so apologies if you got more questions. Let me know in the chat or wherever. I'll try to get to them. Okay, who else? So, okay. So we got Lord Zenith did ask for us to take a look. So we'll do that. The Grand Porg Alliance here. What do we got? 318558672. All right, stats: 5.4 million galactic power, 2-3 in ships, 3-1 in characters. Been playing for wow, like a year and 2 months or something like that. Not that long. Not that long. Got JML already. Interesting. Okay. What do we have in ships here? Let's see. Executor 7 stars. Got the Radis building up. It's at 4 stars. Got a Negotiator and a Malevolence, both with weak pilots. So, but with the Malevolence and the Negotiator both, these passive skills are massive for the fleet performance. So getting this guy to gear 11 so that you can max out this ability is important. It is worth doing. It's worth looking into. Take a look at it. Same thing for Grievous. It looks like Grievous is already gear 11 and you've got that maxed out. So you're okay there. We can live with that. Okay. Executor. So what else we got here in ships? The Hyena Bomber, the Vulture Droid. 5 stars. They're started. Geos are up here. And again, I mean, someday you'll want a better Vulture Droid and Bomber, but it's not at the top of the priority list. You've got them. You've got them for the Malevolence fleet, so it's okay. It's okay. It'll do what you need it to do for now. It's an opportunity for someday. Okay, character-wise, let's look. Jabba and Luke. Okay. So what's next on the menu then? If we've got Jabba and Luke, are we going to do Leia next? That would seem to be the thing. Rex. Built up. 7 stars. Gear 12. Already got the finisher applied. So I'm guessing that would mean we are indeed going for Leia. And that makes sense, and that's what I would recommend anyway. Let's take a look at the Imperial Trooper opportunities. Same advice I've been given to other people. Think about building these troopers more toward Gear 12 and stage them for participation in the new raid at Gear 12. Maybe you'll want to relic them later, but at least it'll give you more participating characters. If you can only do 5 teams, if they said somewhere that it was going to be a 3-man raid. If it is a 3-man raid and you can only do 5 teams, then you'll max out your teams pretty quickly. But if that's not the case, then you may want to relic some of those characters. Leia, fastest non-GL at 331. Lots of potency on her. That's good. Mara Jade, 328. I mean, it's not bad, right? For an account that's about a year old. Those are some pretty good mods. Brief Cargo up here, Gear 12, still looking pretty fast. 319. Yep. These mods are good for a year old. For an account that's just over a year old. 303 on Revan. Nice. It's good stuff. Grand Inquisitor. Let's take a look. 297. So we've got about what? 9 characters over. Yeah, we'll call that in. So 9 characters at 300 speed. It's pretty good. Pretty good for an account this age for sure. All right, and then did you buy the packs? Let's take a look at the pack situation. Pack bought, and then resistance. Yeah, so it's like many people right now. You've got a lot to do. You've got the SLKR to finish out. You've got the Rey to finish out. You've got the Leia to build. So plenty to do in the account. I mean, overall, you finish what you've got going on. You know, get the Radis slowly over time and get that Rey, get the SLKR done, and build all that stuff and work toward Leia. I think that's the plan. Nice job with your mods too. Seriously, those are good mods for an account that's that age. So, stamp of approval. Any other questions you got? Okay, Lord Zenith says, yes, sir, that's the plan. All right, nice. DL, when do you go for low-lying fruit versus what will help your roster? Rey, 3 relics plus 30 shards versus Leia, 8 relics away. JML, 6 relics away. what's your thought process to decide? So a lot of it comes down to the layers of planning, right? There's only one journey that you should be on and have your relic activities focused on that. So with Rey only needing 2 relics, in my case, I already had the Jedi training Rey, so I only needed to do the BB-8. Getting a Galactic Legend for the cost of 1 relic, as long as I farmed up the Raddus capital ship, that seems to be a good payout for the least amount of effort. What's the best advice to give for that? I would say the best advice I could possibly give, what are you trying to do with your account? If you go back, all the way back to the question of why, and you have a reason why you build what you build, then later on, if you decide that it's a bad choice or you should have done something different or you have regrets, well, the only regret that you can have is that your logic was wrong. So, for example, if you had that choice between Rey, Leia, and Jabba, and you said, well, Rey is close, but I'm going to focus on Leia because I want to, when the new raid hits, I just want to be smashing it in the new raid. So as soon as I can get Leia, I want that. Leia is the newest Galactic Legend. It's the hardest to deal with for people that don't have all the things. So I want Leia. Well, then you have a logic to it. There's a reason why you're doing that instead of the other stuff that you could do. But then I would ask, okay, well, what's the problem with going ahead and activating the Rey journey? And that way, the whole time you're working on Leia, you could still be getting light side tokens to unlock Rey and to get Rey's ultimate. And then that way, you're not interfering later with another GL journey. So that would be the logic for me. I would say Leia's the thing because I want to do the raid, but this other stuff, it makes more sense to put it up front in terms of timing the resources. But once I have the logic of why I'm doing what I'm doing, then I'm comfortable that it's the right kind of thing. Hope that makes sense. Cole says, are you still doing account reviews? Yeah, sure. I don't know. We're still looking through the account reviews that people asked for earlier. But yeah, I'll take a look at people's accounts. We're just chilling. I'm just in here chilling. Clyde No says, here's my LI code. Is it Clyde No or Clidno or Cladino? Clyde. I'm going to call it Clyde because CLYD looks like Clyde to me. He's in the Bespin Guild, 7.8 million galactic power, 3-4 ships, 4-3 characters. Been playing for 18,000, so that's 4 years, going on 5 years. Okay. That's a long time in the game. Let's go take a look. What do we got here in ships? Leviathan in the house. Leviathan, Executor, Profundity. Woo-wee. He's got all the ships. Nice. Can't complain about that. I like that the ships are all received and we're just slow rolling it, right? We're getting shards as they come, so we don't have like all the capital ships 7-starred, but he's got them all in the account. Good job, man. Well done. Character-wise, Jabba Kenobi, Jedi Master Luke, Supreme Leader Kylo. Let's take a look at Resistance and see about pack purchases. Looks like we bought the packs. Okay. In terms of ships, still working on the Raddus, I imagine. I don't even see the Raddus. Still working on the Raddus then. confirmed. Oh, maybe we didn't buy the pack. Some packs, but not all packs? I don't know. This is weird. So, all these resistance are relic, but then like Finn, Scavenger Ray, Vet Smuggler, they were out of a pack too, I think. Interesting. So maybe this player purchased not all of the packs because they were close enough on some of these characters. Interesting. I bought just the one Ray pack. Okay. All right. He didn't buy the Radis pack, maybe? Yeah, exactly. Yep. Also, after getting a Mega Fleet, how many GLs would you suggest before going for the next Mega Fleet? My standing advice right now is based on this logic. If you look at the Negotiator and Malevolence, they were a ship pair. They followed that up with Executor and Profundity, which are about at the same power level. Then they brought out Leviathan, which is a step up in power level. And I expect them to match that with a light side ship at a similar level of Leviathan. So what I would say, get a ship from the level of either Profundity or Executor. And then I would build up to 4 GLs. And then I would build a ship from the level of either Leviathan or whatever else comes out after Leviathan. So that's my thought. Kind of build up one ship in each tier. Of course, you're going to get both the Malevolence and Negotiator. Those are older ships. They're easy to get. It's not a problem. But I would build either the Executor or Profundity, one or the other, and then build like 3 Galactic Legends. And then I would look at the next tier of Leviathan or whatever else gets paired up with it. And maybe they'll break the mold and break the trend this time and not do that. But that's what I would plan for. Okay, so we got 4 GLs. What are you working on, Clyde? No? Are you working on Leia? We got Starkiller in the house here. What else we got? Okay, so the resistance stuff is a ways off. Maybe you're working on that. Yeah, I mean, if you can get the resistance stuff done, if that's the shortest route to a payout for you, then I would probably take a look at that. Yeah, you've got a lot of the ships you need anyway, so you can work your way into that rate pretty easily. Yeah, so it's not too far out for you. Got a few ships to work on to qualify for the event, and then you should be good to go. But I would also, work on Leia. So Rey and Leia would be the thing for this account, in my opinion. You do have a Malgus, though. Okay. So what does that mean? I mean, I don't see a third sister. I don't see things to take advantage of the Lord Vader journey or something like that. So, yeah, no, you're really in great shape on ships. I would say build Leia. While you're building Leia, work through the resistance in whatever order that stuff makes sense. And get those two as your next 2 things. Inquisitors, Rey, and Leia. So many mods needed. Yep. Mods are now a problem, for sure. Speaking of which, how are your mods? 360 on Cat. That is a fast Cat. Anything over 350 we consider pretty dang good. Gideon, 357. Magnum. That's all right. Mara Jade, 352. That's a fast Mara Jade. 352 is fast. With the 70 from Starkiller, that puts you at 322 or 422 in GAC. That's a fast Mara Jade. Nice. Well done, man. They're good mods. 350 on Piet. Holy cow, we're still way up in the 300s. Go all the way down here to Revan. See how that looks? Still over 300 speed. 311 on Revan. You got good mods, man. Nice. Nice. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. You really got a ton of good speed, good mods. Your characters are modded in a way that makes sense. Looking good, man. 303 on Rex, even with like leftover third tier mods for you. 18, 23, 21, 17, 18. Really good, man. Really good. Well done. Oh, wow. Got a super chat coming in. Mech Eagle says, "Hey DL, thank you for your advice through the years. Could I get an account review? I'm going for Leia, then Kylo, then Rey. After that, should I go for Cal Kestis, JMK, Profundity? This is my ally code." Well, first of all, that is a really nice super chat, man. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. MX. I assume that that's MX. Mexico? Something. MX. I'm trying to think of a currency type that starts with MX. Anyway, if you have any other questions, Clyde, no, let me know. Positioned for a lot of really good stuff there, though. Really good account, man. 157, 439, 118. All right, let's take a look at Mech Eagle. Mech Eagle, 7.5 million galactic power, 3.5 in ships, 4 million in characters. Man, I used to see it all the time where people would have like 6 million and they would have like 1.8 million in ships and the rest in characters. Anymore, like, we never have to talk about whether or not people are building ships. There's so many good fleets in the game now that everybody's building fleets. So it's not a thing anymore. All right, we got Leviathan, we've got Executor. Malevolence, Negotiator in good shape. Finalizers at 4 stars. Radis is at 4 stars, getting started. Okay. 6-star Leviathan, that's nice. Yep, and 1 ship from each tier, right? So we skip the Profundity in the cycle. That seems like a good thing. All right, over here in characters, we've got Luke, we've got Yaba. For the First Order, we've got the Pax bot. And for Resistance, we've got all the things. Pax bot. Okay. So like many people, you're in that same position of so many things to finish. Okay. Going for Leia, then Kylo and Rey, and after that, should I go for Cal Kestis, JMK, or Profundity? This is my ally code. So out of that list, I would say, don't worry about the Profundity. I assume that they're going to come out with another new light side premium fleet sometime, I don't know, 6 months from now. When that comes out, take a look at that instead. Take a look at that instead. I would prioritize SLKR. Honestly, for the cost of a Zeta on Hux and some mod swaps, that's all it really takes, right? You've got a Relic 7, 2 characters, which is easy, right? You just dump the Relic 7 on the Kylos to qualify for the event. You've already got the Zeta on Hux, so I would really prioritize that. Because why not, right? As soon as you qualify for it, you'll start farming dark side tickets. And it's 1 relic. It's relicking SLKR himself. So put that at the front of everything. Get your relic levels on those 2 guys, qualify for the event. You've got the finalizer at 4 stars. I would save up my crystals. Oops. I'm going to go back to your account here in a second. I want to get in one more fleet battle here if I can. I got to see if there's anybody else that I can beat to get my fleet placement for the day. But but yeah, I if you've got crystals in your account, maybe you just slow roll the Radis, right? Get the Radis a little bit over time, and then whenever you get to Ray, you get to Ray. It's fine. Don't worry about it, right? But with the SLKR, with that finalizer, if you've got it at 4 stars and you can just do a few refreshes and have it at 5 stars and be working on that event, I would save up my crystals, be ready for that the next time that event pops, and prioritize it. I feel like you'll be happy having that character in your account rather than waiting. So I would do that, put that at the lead. And then it definitely makes sense to keep working on Leia. And then, you know, get Rey when you get her. It's not a big deal. Like I said, slow roll the Radis. Just get some shards every time the event comes up. Work on those characters when it makes sense within the Leia journey. And then grab Rey too. After that, what do you want to do after that? Let's see. I'm trying to calculate. So with all those relics that you have to do between Rey, SLKR, and Leia, you're looking at about 16 total relics from where you're at, I think. So the 3 GLs themselves and some other stuff. So you're about 5 months out on all the things, right? And then you've got a delay for Leia herself. So about 6 months. So here's the thing. Here's the thing I would say. You can either start planning your next journey, in which case JMK is really good. It's hard to recommend anything other than JMK. So, you know, start gathering up what you need for JMK. But I'm almost guessing that by that time, there's either going to be a new capital ship or a new Galactic Legend, in which case, instead of going backwards for JMK, you should go forwards with the new content. So let's get back into that and take a look. Yeah, so that's, honestly, that would be my plan. Build Leia, SLKR, Rey, get through that whole stack of stuff. And then either do JMK if they haven't announced any interesting new content yet, or go for whatever's new and next. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis could be interesting for this account. So if there's a space between that and the new stuff, get Jedi Knight Cal instead of going on another big journey. Makes sense to me. That's what would make the most sense. All right, gotta blow my nose here. I got sneezing and coughing and nose blowing. It's crazy. All right, let's take a look at your mods, man. Let's see what we got on mods here. For anybody who's not aware, I have a series called Mod Mastery. 360, that is a fast Piet. 26, 27, 27, 27. Wow. That is just about as fast as you can get a Piet to go. That's crazy, man. Congrats. 356 on Mara Jade. That's super fast on Mara Jade, too. That puts her acting at 420. Nice. Nice mods, man. Well done. Let's take a look down at your Revan. Still 331 on Revan. Really good. Let's take a look down here at Resistance fin. 304. Still over 300. Wow. So 18, like 20 characters over 300 speed. Nice. Not much to say here. I do have a mod mastery series in my videos, so for anybody where I'm giving you advice on how to, or giving you advice telling you to do better on your mods. The mod mastery series does give a statistical method by which you can sort your mods and do your mod work every week. I share all my filters and how I do it, and I know for the people who've been using it, a lot of people think it's pretty good stuff. It's helped them sort out and make the whole mod situation easier. So I don't have to recommend anything further to this player, but for other people, that could be a thing. Mech Eagle says it might take me 4 to 5 months. Fair enough. Tyranna5 says, I watched your mod mastery series last week and went from 500 mods down to 80 in your inventory. Nice. Do you need the Zetas for resistance while running the tier 4 to the ultimate? I have to go back and take a look, but I feel like with Ray, yeah, I got to go back and take a look. I haven't done the Ray events since I did them on my main account. I can't remember if Jedi Training Ray and her Zetas are a critical part of it, but I know that I never put any Zetas, for example, on the Resistance heroes. I don't think that I put anything on Holdo or anybody like that. So I think the Zetas that would be critical would be on Rey herself. And I do think you need the Zetas on Rey in order to do the event. Mech Eagle, send me another super chat. Thanks a lot, DL. Hey, no problem, man. Happy to help. Just one more question. For CLS, do you recommend an offense or crit damage triangle? Crit damage is good. Yeah, I like crit damage on my CLS. Offense is fine, though, too. If you do a calculation on offense versus crit damage, once you get close to 100% crit chance, crit damage always is going to look better. But just remember that you already have plus 50% crit, and the extra from crit damage comes on top of that. So it only increases your critical hits by 25%, not what's written on there. So offense would make your every attack hit 9% harder, or 8.5% harder, whatever it is. And the crit damage makes them hit 25% harder than a crit without the triangle. So as long as you can get critical hits, that's always going to be better. David Dutro says, Darth Loquitur was speaking Spanish when he said he didn't put any mods on Holdo. Thinking about putting mods on pause, putting them on Holdo. I think offense is better for CLS because Chupio shares his offense, but not his crit damage with the team. Yeah, so with the stat sharing, you share 20% of your stats, right? So if you put offense on the triangle, that does increase the amount of offense that you share with the rest of the team. That is true. That is true. Yeah, I don't know. I think I still like just the crit damage better, just so that CLS himself is hitting harder. But Yeah, with the sharing, I could see what you're saying, because it does there's a lot of damage that comes out of Chupio from the assists. So any more offense that you can give him means more damage every time he assists, which is a lot. Yeah. It might be better overall to do offense. I would have to calculate it. 8%. I mean, when you do the calculations, once you get close to 100% crit, the crit damage triangle wins out pretty handily in the total damage done. But if you're sharing that offense at 20%, 8.5, 20%, basically means you're giving 4% more offense to all the other characters, 4% across 5 characters, plus 8 would be 12, 16, 8, 24. So it'd be 24% more damage overall versus 25% more damage on a crit for CLS. Yeah, the offense sounds like it would be better with the stat sharing from Chupio. Yep, good call. All right. Okay, so going back to the way back, all the way back at the beginning, we had more requests. Let's see, are we done with all these? Nope, we still got Clogot. Okay, guys, I'm going to do like a couple more account reviews, and then I'm going to move on to some GAC stuff, and then wrap up the stream. All right, Galactic War Battles 1, 13,000. So we're looking at a 3-year-old account, more or less. 2 8 in ships, 3 8 in characters. 6.6 million galactic power overall. So this is a kind of a Loquitur aged account. We've got Malevolence, Negotiator, Executor, 4 stars. Okay. Rebel Y-Wing's not done. Hyena Bomber's not done. Vulture Droid. So for an account that's this age, I would really want to see the Vulture and the Hyena done. I understand that these are farms that you have to do, and they take up, you know, some of your regular energy. But there's got to be some way for you to fit that into your plan. It's worth building those ships. The Malevolence fleet is still relevant. It's still a good fleet after all these years. It's worth building. Yeah, so I'd finish out those pilotless ships. I'd finish them all out. The Rebel Y-Wing, I think, is still available off a fleet node, so that's not too hard to pick up. But it's worth doing. Alright, character-wise, we've got Lord Vader, Jedi Master Kenobi, General Skywalker, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Interesting. So we took a detour for Jedi Knight Cal. Putting him with the Jedi Master Kenobi, I assume. Malicos, already done. Interesting. Okay, so how is this account working? So you're either getting red box and just like totally smashing Conquest or something. It's impressive. So Ufus. You've got a pretty ridiculous team then, because you built Jedi Knight Cal, which means that you've got Seer, Cal, yep. Malicos, Ahsoka Fulcrum, Kylo, wow. Okay, so crushing stuff with the Malicos team. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So we've got a Lord Vader team that's crushing stuff. We've got Kenobi crushing stuff. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis in the house. Terra Malicos. Interesting tools in this one's toolbox, my friends. Commander Luke there. Geos, Treya. Marinol Gear 12. Alright, so let's look for pack purchases. First order. Done. And resistance. So the resistance pack was bought. Got to finish out BB-8, Jedi Training Ray, C-3PO. Okay, so what? Yeah. Are there any other current journeys going on that we can tell here? Embo, is there Hut Cartel going into the account? I'm just trying to see if he's like in the middle of another journey in addition to all this other stuff. Okay, so we don't see Hut Cartel, and it doesn't look like we're building JML. Okay. All right. So we got the SLKR stuff to work through. We've got the Ray stuff to work through. And man, do we suggest the Leia for this account or not? That is the question. So on one hand, we could get Leia, and that'd be another Galactic Legend. But we've already got Ray and SLKR that we're working on. And there are just a lot of opportunities. So if as a player, if you love Grand Arena, you're a Rhodium 2, this account has so much potential for Grand Arena teams if you want to build them. You've got the CLS team that you could finish out. That's going to help you with the raid. It's going to help you with the journey. It's going to help you with all kinds of stuff. You've got Treya that you could build for GAC. You've got Marin for Night Sisters that you could build. Savage could be relict for Grand Arena. So, you know, just with that, with the Triumvirate, Savage, and some kind of Night Sister team, you're kind of looking at a little bit of an interlude. You can work on those relics at the same time interactively with finishing out your SLKR and Ray and strengthen up your Grand Arena stuff. Out of all of that, I would probably do Savage first because he can solo CLS teams if people put him on defense. Then I would work on CLS, then Triumvirate, and finish that out. If you love GAC. That's what I would take a look at. All right, let's take a look at mods real quick. Catch up with chat. I'm all the way back at the beginning. So Klogot says, I'm currently working on the Vulture and Hyena. Nice. Getting gold box out of the Conquest. Okay, so gold box 4 times. Okay. That's good. All right. Let's see. We've got Echo here. Fastest non-GL 356. He's the same base speed as Moff Gideon. 356 is okay. It's not blowing me away. 337. Speed on Cat. 16, 21, 24, 11. Yikes. I don't think I would end up with an 11 speed mod at 6 gold. That's just me. That's a lot to invest in a mod that, you know, didn't look good even 3 or 4 slices ago. Yeah. So you've got some good mods, but I also see that you've invested in some mods that I probably wouldn't have invested in. 26 speed, 19, 20. These all look good. These all look like mods that we want to invest in. So Piet's in good shape. Teak. How are we on Teak here? 329 on Teak. That's timed out so that him and Echo can go back to back. That's pretty nice. 23 speed, 26, 24, 21. Those are good mods. Yeah, for the age of your account, I would hope to see a little more speed in here, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It looks like you're working on a lot of stuff in the right way. 281 on Resistance Hero Finn. The only advice I would have for you is be a little more choosy about which mods you slice. I mean, that's really all I have to say. Don't try to force it, right? If a mod's giving you signals that it's not going to work out, give up on it. And maybe a couple of those mods that I looked at were outliers and stuff that you did before you really studied up on mods. So I won't belabor it anymore. My tech is in the top 50 worldwide. Nice. Nice. Good stuff, man. All right, well, keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, build out the account. And if you like GAC, you've really got some opportunities with some good GAC teams, some solo, and the CLS team's going to be good for you everywhere. The Triumvirate's going to be good for you everywhere. So those are some things you could look at. And you're getting 2 more GLs from where you're at. So in the meantime, you're also going to build up to 4 Galactic Legends. I'm kind of running out of time for the stuff that I wanted to do, so I'm going to go in and mess around a little bit with some other stuff as part of this chill stream. And then we're going to hang it up for the day. So I know there were more people that asked for account reviews than I got to. But, you know, maybe we'll do a chill stream again tomorrow. If I get the time, we'll come in and do another one. And then for the people that I missed today, we can try to catch you up tomorrow. Okay, so I did want to try to something crazy here. So this is going to be the second level of the SLKR journey with really bad mods. I want to see if I can beat this with really bad mods, because we can beat the first one pretty much just on technique. All right. Okay. So with bad mods, we've got to get a stun in as soon as we can. So we're gonna pass it over, even though he's like got a turn now. We're gonna pass it over. We're gonna get a stun here, and then we need to just attack over here for a second. And wait till we get our mass assist up and try to kill resistance hero. Okay. With bad mods and not enough damage, that didn't go well. But he won't get a turn, right? Because he's stunned. He got stealthed by Zori, but he won't get a turn. And now we can pick him off. We should kill Zori next. Okay. Let's see. I think we got to pass it over to crew again and just go for another big stun here. Keep the damage down. So it looks like we're able to do this with really bad mods if we've got good technique. Okay. So that's something that might be interesting for people who are on this SLKR journey. Believe me when I tell you that the mods that are on these characters right now are truly awful. Truly awful. So if I can complete this with these garbage mods, that means the event is doable for pretty much anybody in the game. Okay. Let me check this out. Let's go look at mods. 252 speed with blue mods. Trash. This is all trash that didn't work out. Like 9 speed, 8 speed garbage mods. Look at this. Look at this garbage. It's absolute trash. Okay. So the key to it is you've got to, and making your Hux faster would help, Because if we could make the Hux faster, that would be a big deal. But getting the stun over onto that hero Finn is really the key. So we pass a turn to our crew. We get a stun. We stun him. And we're good to win from there. Okay. So for the first one, you absolutely have to have the Zeta on Hux. And you can mass assist the resistance hero Finn there and kill him pretty quickly. And then on the second one, because of the stealth mechanic with Zori, you need to stun resistance hero Finn. Knock him down low enough, even if he goes into stealth, you're okay. He'll still be stunned. And then when he comes out, you finish him off. All right. Good. That was for science. I just wanted to check that and see if it was going to be a possibility. Okay. Zymergy says, I also had the Hux Zeta when I went through this last week. should be all you need. Yeah, good enough. Good to know. Okay, so in terms of squads, we are going to have an SLKR squad. As of today, now SLKR is going to be awful and he's not going to have the ult, so it'll be a long time before this is a good team for killing Jabba. But he still ramps though. Even without the ult, he still ramps. He doesn't ramp as fast. So maybe if we get him relicked, we can still kill Jabbas. This team for Rey, we've got to work on. We've got to figure out like the mechanics for that. Get Bindo relicked. Okay. Is there anything here that I need to relic or over relic? That team's working. This is working. That's working. That's working. Okay, so basically, all I really need to do then for this strategy to work, we're going to permanently leave Jabba on defense. But we are going to take gas off of defense. And did I already put the Finn, Poe? No, I didn't. Okay, so let's put Finn, Poe, Zori, and Rose. Okay. So if we set this team as a defense, then we need to prioritize Zori Bliss as the character that we work on in our account update this week. Okay, Maul Mandos can stay on defense. This robot team cannot. We've got to get rid of these guys because we want to use them with Jedi Training Rey. And we can replace that with sure, guess something like this. Again, it's not meant to win, it's just taking up space on defense. We'll leave the Dash team on defense. That's hard for some people to deal with. And then Kenobi, we're going to take this off of defense as a, like, let's say, permanent defense team. We're going to hold it for offense. And then, based on what we see the opponent playing, that will make the determination on what we want to do. Bounty Hunters, we don't really have much left over for Bounty Hunters. Yikes. What other team could... Do we have Night Sisters? We do, but if I put them there, then I lose this as a tank pair for Sith Eternal. I don't know. Am I ever going to want to tank with Sith Eternal using Night Sisters? I just don't have much else to put on defense. I need something here on defense that's okay. All right. I don't need a great team. But I've got to have something that it's not horrible. I suppose I could just put like a leftover First Order team here. Let's see what we've got from First Order that we don't care about. We could put in like a Phasma. Phasma. We'll put in the white tank. Just do leftovers. And we could throw a Datacron on that. Why not? This is because we have some. We're going to build some more this week in the... Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. Clicked the button too fast. Hey, at least my computer didn't suddenly restart for no reason whatsoever, so there's a balance there. Okay, let's put the Datacron on and then let's set this time instead of just leaving. Okay. That's not a great team. It's you know, Enfys Nest bait. Enfys Nest can kill that, no problem. Back wall, we've got an Iden team. Might want to take Stark out of this. Put in a different Imperial Trooper here. We've got some more stuff that's level 12 now. So we can put a Storm Pooper in there. We like our S's. Storm, Snow, Shore. Snore Trooper. That just goes to sleep in the middle of combat. Snore Trooper. All right. Bounty Hunter team back here. And then we've got this Phoenix garbage. Okay, fine. That'll have to do for now. Let's go into fleet and look and see what I'm doing in fleets. I did put the Negotiator onto defense in my 3v3. And the question is, do I want to try to beef this up as my defense by putting a Negotiator here? I think I do. Let's go ahead and put the Negotiator here on defense. Because we do have Finalizer now for offense, so we've got a Finalizer, a Profundity, a Malevolence, and then we've still got Rebels and some other stuff to try as a cleanup fleet. So this puts me okay on defenses. We put Malgus's ship up here because you know, we've got him at gear 12. So then what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to make sure that I make time to go scout my opponents. And then based on what they put on defense, I will be able to keep whatever of those offensive teams I need. And if they're putting enough stuff on defense and I can see that they're not using an offense that'll beat my JMK, for example, then I'll put JMK on defense up here. So we'll switch around our offenses and defenses just a little bit, tailor it to what our opponent's playing when we can. All right, fleet. Did I get number 5 after all? Congratulations, number 5 in fleet. We're getting close to the 7-star Executor. I think next time we have an event, we should get the Executor to 7 stars. And then we can start playing around with that and try to build for a Leviathan counter, and that'll be the fleet that I use in Fleet Arena from then on. SLKR has been moved from Jabba counter to Leia counter. Normal Poe is better than Hero Poe in that team. The normal Poe has synergy with Zori and the AoE expose. But Hero Hero Poe is the inspiration for the team, right? How do we get inspired if we kick him out? Daze inflict if he's inspired, blah, blah, blah. So damage them, stun them, dispel, the ability can't be evaded. Spark of resistance. So if light side enemies, if he's inspired when he uses... Okay. I thought he's the one who gave inspired. Maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining things. Balance tactics. Resistance heroes, you just have stuff, right? We just get stuff. Take down. Hold the line. It's determination. Okay. Spark of resistance. Inspired rallying call. Rallies everybody. Okay, resistance hero fin becomes inspired, deals special damage which can't be evaded. Swap turn meter. If it's Hero Poe, he also becomes inspired. Okay, so the inspired is actually coming from here. So you're saying kick out Dispo and put in the Utter Poe. Oop, that's the Poe we're kicking. You're saying this Poe is better. Stand firm. 22% tenacity, recovers max health. Whenever he resists a negative hit, Finn is present. He also gains his bonuses. Whenever Poe loses taunt, Finn gains taunt. And then we've got... this is remove turn meter from each enemy. 50% chance. And this... is an additional 15% exposed chance buffing. That's worth getting, so we'll take that. Ace of the Resistance. We'll take that. That's worth 5% offense. Isn't bad. And this is just 5% damage. We'll skip that. Okay, so we'll put Poe in here. We'll put in Poe. Alright, we'll try it. Try anything. Try anything to surprise our opponents. Sinest says, hi. Alrighty. Okay. So then, on the project list for Tier 2, we have to look at Zori Bliss has to be in the top priority for projects here. And then also, I think, as much as I need Zetas for everything in the entire world, I really have to think about giving the Zeta to him. Because it really does. There's, I don't know. So at lower Grand Arenas, this guy can solo stuff all over the place. The question is it worth a Zeta when I'm in Kyber 3? Because even though he can still solo a lot of stuff, the likelihood that I'm going to see that stuff has diminished greatly. Right? We're not gonna see it. And then with Zori, we've got this Zeta, and then we've got a Grand Arena Omicron. If the ally leader is non-unaligned force user, okay, so if the leader is not an Ufu, Whenever Zori is stealthed at the start of her turn, all enemies without expose get exposed. Is that worth an Omicron? I got a lot of Omicrons on this account. All right, so we're going to Zeta and Omicron that. And, oh man, I can't afford to put 2 Zetas on this character. How important is that Zeta, guys? It's a pretty big Zeta, right? First time each resistance or smuggler falls below 100% health, they gain 100% turns meter. If the ally was non-tank, they gain protection up 100%, stealth, tank, damage, immunity, taunt. If the damage, immunity, or stealth is dispelled, they gain 100% protection. That's a pretty big deal. Spice Runner is very important. It's pretty huge. OG Kylo Zeta is only useful for soloing. It's definitely a luxury. Nick says it's not needed in my it's not needed in my opinion. I got SLKR 3 months ago and still haven't because of not having the Zeta. Yeah, like I said, I think it's good, but at the level of GAC that I'm playing at right now, I think it's irrelevant. So I'll put it up there for consideration. Probably pass on it. We got to work on Zori. We'll give her... I need 6 Zetas for this SLKR, guys. We just got SLKR, right? Like, he is unlockable. And we'll skill him up. And once we skill him up, we're going to use 5 Zetas on him. So, I need to keep 100 Zetas. I've got 109. I think I just got to put the Zetas on Kylo. I got to wait on Zori. I'll have to wait on Zori. Okay, but then the next Zeta can go on Zori. And then we're going to have Rey. We have to store up 6 Zetas for Rey. Oof. Zori may never get a Zeta. And by the time we get the 6 Zetas on Rey and all that, we'll be saving up for Leia. So 12 Zetas, basically 1 Zeta every 9 days. Is that what you guys remember? So how long will it take me to get from where I'm at 12 more Zetas times 9 days is 108 days. 3.5 months. 3.5 months just to get the Zetas for my next 2 GLs. Yeah, that's going to be a no-go on the Zori. Dang it. Dang it. Well, they're going to put a Zeta pack in the game, and we're all going to buy it because we're like 15 Zetas behind. So their next big money grab could easily be a Zeta, and a lot of us would probably buy it. I probably wouldn't on this account. I'd probably skip buying it because I'm trying to play mostly free-to-play. The Lightspeed bundles were just too good to pass up. I mean, at some point. Playing pretty much free-to-play is one thing, but when they give you like a year's worth of progress for $50, it's hard not to click those buttons. So we did. And how am I going to get more Zeta materials? We can buy Zetas out of a shop, right? What's this? $11.75 for 1 Zeta. For one measly little Zeta material. $3.75 and $2.50 is $6.25. So basically we can buy tens and biddle cards for the price of 1 Zeta material. That is awful. That is truly awful. That's truly awful. But if we get this account to the point where we've got enough, I bought a bunch of impulse detectors over time with this currency. I've bought a bunch of Zimbital cards over time with this currency. Electrium conductors, we can still build some electrium conductors this way. Let's see how I'm doing over here. So if we craft up, use up all of our materials that we've got on these things, we can see if we're in position. Yeah, so electrium conductors, we're not in a great position to create more of those right now, it looks like. We don't have a lot of extra materials. Okay, so maybe we could, you know, convert one. And we've got 146. To be honest, we're in pretty good shape on those materials, right? We'll have more of those materials before we'll have extra signal data. I don't know. Look at this. Let's see. So it's an awful price, right? It's a terrible price. But if we can't get Zetas any other way, what if we just bought like 3 of these a week? If we bought 3 of them a week, that would be 7 weeks. Okay. So let's say we bought 2 of them on every raid. That would be 2 every 6 days. 2 every 3 days. 2 every 3 days. So if we bought 2 every 3 days, that would be 1 more Zeta per month, right? 20 Zetas in 30 days. So we would have to buy 2. That would give us a Zeta a month. 12 more Zetas in a year. All right, I'm going to try it. It's a pretty awful price. It's awful. I don't like it. But as long as our guild is cashing in for like 1450 token, oh man. I can't buy 2. I mean, the $130 payout is only 1450. It's 1. So this raid loot would then be all of this stuff plus 1 Zeta material. I don't know. I'm going to try it. I'm going to start spending 1 Zeta every time we get a raid done. I'm going to waste my Get 3 for a little while, and I'm going to get a feeling for it. I'm going to see how it feels. I'm going to see if it feels as awful as it looks on paper. And again, it's not because this is a good price. It is not a good price out of this shop. It's horrible. But there's not another way to get Zetas. All right, we've got the fleet store. We're already using that. Every time we get fleet currency up to 2,000, we're clicking the button. We're buying a Zeta material. That's no question, right? We're getting every Zeta material we can over here. We've got Talzin for the extra 2 Zetas there. We've got Wicket for the extra 2 Zetas there. We've got Smuggler's Run 2. I can't remember if there's a Zeta material in there. So we've got all the events we could get. We're already buying them out of the fleet store. That's really the only place left, right? Unless you want to buy them for money somewhere. Yuck. All right, we'll try it. Don't do it, DL. Too expensive. Just slip some Zetas from GLs. Skip some Zetas. Nick says, oh nah, bro. I need 6 Zetas for GL, Leia, and Ray, and both of those teams need Zetas, and I have 40 mats. I think that's where everybody's at. There's a Zeta pack for crystals in the store. I really don't want to convert Zetas for crystals, or crystals for Zetas. It's the equivalent of spending money, right? I mean, Actually, this isn't bad. 50... Oh, never mind. Never mind. This is one of something, right? Chances are you have a 50% chance to get 4 Zetas, 3 Omegas. Chance to get 6 Zetas. Oh, okay. So even if you get the worst score, half of the time you're still going to get 4 Zeta materials. This is actually not bad. I mean, they have in the past valued the Zetas ridiculously high. Yeah, no, I mean, if you're willing to spend money on the game, if you're a spender, this isn't bad. It's not a bad way to get Zetas. That's a much better price than I've seen, because they always value the Zetas like ridiculous. At ridiculous amounts. But that's reasonable. I mean, $12.50 to guarantee 4 Zetas with a chance for an upside. I don't like packs where you have to gamble to get an upside, but you know, 95% of the time you'll get 4 or 6 Zetas, and that makes the pack fair. You know, 4 Zetas for $12.50, let's say 300 per Zeta. That's probably the best price I've ever seen them offered at. They usually value a Zeta material at like $5. It's crazy. So 15,000 is $100 divided by 20. 15 divided by 20 is $750 or something like that. So in the past, the packs that I've seen are like 800 crystals per Zeta material, per Zeta shred. So this is okay. It's okay. I'm not going to buy it. It's not good enough for me to buy. How well would you have to do in the crate raid to be able to get 2 Zetas every time? 2 Zetas every time. Let's take a look here. At the... Oh! Clicked off it. Let's look at the reward path. Here, 1450. 2350. Okay, so always... If we ever got to the next box, if we got to the 26, if we got to the 265 box, so on the next raid, on the speeder bike raid, we gotta get the dragon, we gotta get the speeder bike to the 265. It's double, right? 130 million. This box is double the contribution. It's a good goal, though. You can get 2 Zetas every 3 days. 10. That's basically a Zeta a month. You could get a Zeta a month out of there. God, it's so bad price. It's such a bad price. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. Get moving with the rest of my day. Yeah, we really got to stop being so spoiled with the light speed bundles. What if they had a light speed Zeta pack, but not give Zeta materials? It's just give all Zetas for resistance tunes. Yeah, I don't know. If they offered a pack where your character would just get a Zeta applied to it, just take from wherever it's at to the Zeta level, that'd still be worth buying, depending on the price. We'll see. Alright, guys. Thank you all for coming, hanging out with me on this chill stream. I appreciate all you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Notification bell lets you know when I'm doing my live stream so that you can come join us and hang out. Get a free account review if I'm doing a chill stream. And, you know, join us over on the Discord. The link is always in the description down below. Click on that. Join the Discord. Hope to see you over there. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next Holocron.